And today I have a question from Dominic. And Dominic asks, are you really happier without alcohol? I find that hard to believe. And first I'll say, Dominic, I was in the same boat. Like, really, if you would have told me that I would have been happier without drinking, I just would have thought you were insane and nuts and disregarded everything you said, because I would have thought that you were just completely crazy. There was no way I could have fathomed how much better life is once you really find happiness apart from anything external. And that is namely for me, alcohol. And so, yes, I am, but I want to give you some more detail on it because I think it would be really helpful for, understanding. And one of the main things is that happiness is kind of this nebulous topic, right? It's so subjective. It has everything to do with the person experiencing it and how we feel it and stuff. But there is one woman, her name is Barbara Fredrickson. She is a researcher at the University of North Carolina, and she is a happiness researcher, and she is one of the leading happiness researchers in the world. So some people actually say she's the world's expert on happiness. And she defines happiness as 10 emotions that are the most positive human emotions. And so I'm going to list them out for you. And then I'm going to just kind of go through each one in regards to my experience. And then I'm going to really encourage you to think about these in regards to your experience with alcohol. So these emotions are joy, gratitude, serenity, interest, hope, pride, amusement, inspiration, awe, and love. And so what we're trying to find here is an answer to, does alcohol amuse you sometimes? Did you do some really dumb stuff that you laughed about later? Sure, obviously, clearly. But on the whole, taking the entire picture of happiness and what it means to really be fulfilled and lead a very happy, fulfilled life, then, what does that look like? So for me, joy, of course, there was joy to drinking. I've realized a lot of the joy was because I was addicted and I was anticipating the drink. And so there was a massive placebo effect. The best way I can describe this is that my feelings of joy started when I would order my glass of wine or when I would reach for the bottle well before it ever touched my lips. And that is just proven to me. And I certainly wasn't joyful, 3 or 4 glasses later or the next day. So I think that's really interesting. And joy, I think, is more profound than that. You can have joy that is lasting joy rather than joy that is fleeting joy, and joy that comes from a lot of really important deepening experiences, and that's more holistic. So anyway, joy, I would say, sure, there's some joy, but really joy for me has taken a whole new, deeper, more powerful meaning. And then gratitude. There wasn't any gratitude for me in drinking. There was a lot of regret, but I certainly wouldn't say there was any gratitude. Serenity, it was the opposite of serenity. I think that one of my most powerful memories and one of my catalysts for looking at my relationship with alcohol was waking up at 3 a.m. with the carbohydrates coursing through my system and my mind racing and trying to piece together, like, how much did I drink and what did I say and who did I say it to and, what is my problem? And that type of just panicky thought that consumes you and gives you so much anxiety, that is the opposite of serenity. That wasn't there. Interest, I'd say my interest was as far as my addiction. I think that, my addicted body and neurologically I was interested in it because I thought that I needed it, because I was emotionally addicted. I believed it was key to having a good time. It was key to relaxation. It was key to socializing. Once I have broken those beliefs and don't think they're true anymore, no interest. Hope, no, I didn't find any hope in a bottle. And pride, no, I did not find any pride in a bottle of alcohol. I think that it did a number on my pride on more than one occasion in situations that I am embarrassed even now make me blush. Amusement, yes, there was amusement like we talked about before. I think that, doing stupid stuff was a huge crux of the amusement, and then having to laugh about it later because I felt so dumb. And so how do you put this into decent context? You have to chalk it up to, drunken stupidity, and let's all get a good laugh out of it. And then that makes some of the things that were stealing so much of my pride less painful. Inspiration, I thought that I was inspired by booze. I truly did. Like, I thought that I was a better writer, a better thinker, a better strategist with drinking. And one of the coolest things about my journey not drinking is when I had to do this stuff without drinking. I mean, I wrote my book, obviously, without drinking alcohol. And you know, when I did this stuff, and then I got it published, and like, I didn't get anything published when I was drinking, and doing these things and realizing, oh, it's in here. It's not necessarily in that bottle. Like, the genius is coming inside, you know, the creativity is inside of us. Like, that's the thing. And that, you know, back to the pride thing, like, that's awesome. That's such a good feeling. So yes, I thought there was inspiration, but to be honest, I think that now I see through that. It was such a ruse. And then awe, no, I didn't find any awe in alcohol. And one of the most awesome things, I would say, is sunrises and going for a run early in the morning, or a walk, or just being under this whole huge, vast majesty of the sky. And I was always too hungover to get out of bed and do that sort of thing. So I was stumbling into my meetings 5 minutes before they started, trying to, you know, just drink down some coffee. And then after I stopped drinking, I started doing fun things like waking up early and going for walks around cities. And yeah, there was a lot more awe not drinking than drinking. And then finally, love. I think alcohol was pretty harmful to my relationships. And I think that I did not experience more love because of alcohol. Absolutely not. And I do think that one of the coolest things now is to see how my children feel about alcohol. And just, we don't talk about it really at home. We just don't do it. And to see that they just kind of like really look at people who do, like, whoa, what is their problem? And to see that, and just to know that, you know, there was times when they're like, oh, you smell bad, or your lips are purple, and they made those comments, and now they're so wanting to snuggle up with me. Last night, my son, he took my sweatshirt to bed with him because he thought it smelled so good, and when I was drinking, it would have smelled like booze. So anyway, I think I experienced quite a bit more love in my life without the booze. So that was kind of a long story, and I'm not saying that there aren't hard times, but what I am saying is that numbing the bad emotions, you know, instead of dealing with them. Now I deal with my negative emotions. I find a way through it. I do other stuff to deal with them. Numbing the bad emotions is very different from truly being happy. And so I think, yes, indeed, resoundingly, I am much happier without drinking alcohol. But thank you so much, Dominic, for the question. And again, this is Annie Grace, author of This Naked Mind. Please send me a message, leave a comment, send me an email, hello@thisnakedmind.com. I am happy for you to ask me anything. Have a wonderful day. This has been Annie Grace with This Naked Mind podcast. Thank you so much for listening. You can learn more at thisnakedmind.com. And please remember to rate, review, and subscribe, as it really helps us spread the word.